Hello. Just a quick one to let everyone know, if you haven't been aware of it already, that Tucker Carlson, American journalist, um, he's in Dublin at the moment, and I think he's interviewing Conor McGregor and probably Malachy Steenson as well this evening in Conor McGregor's bar up there. And this would be good, right? Because Tucker Carlson's interviews normally go at least an hour, right? But in most cases, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. So you'll get an in-depth conversation, and it'll be nice as well because you'll get the natural curiousness of someone who's not from Ireland coming to Ireland and having a walk around Dublin earlier and seeing what his take on it is. And then you'll get, I suppose, Conor McGregor's position, what he's doing, what he's aiming to do, what his intentions are, and what his plans are. And it might not be explicitly stated, but you'll get to see if he was made privy to any sort of information, right, that America might have held and might have hold of regarding Ireland. So I would suggest people give it a listen, give it a watch, and it'll be released on YouTube. So if you're not on X or anything like that, Tucker Carlson's interviews are on YouTube. So whether they'll record that tonight, post it tomorrow, whatever the case is, or whether they'll stream it live, I don't know. But either way, in the next couple of days, it should be up. And it'll be worth a watch, right? And just while we're at it as well, right? Conor McGregor, he doesn't have to do what he's doing. He doesn't have to be coming out and putting himself in the firing line and putting himself as opposition, as he said, right, as political foes or whatever, nemesis, against the Irish government and the whole state of Ireland, right? He doesn't have to do that. He has his money made, whatever that amounts to, and he could ride off into the sunset, and that'll be it, right? His game is done, his name is made, his money is earned, right? He could do those things, but he doesn't. He's stepping up and having incredibly difficult and denied and neglected conversations that many in Ireland refuse to even have at the kitchen table, right? Refuse to even have at the kitchen table. And what he's also doing in that regard is putting everyone else to shame. And not just the regular Irish people, right, who are doing their bit. And for those who've been doing their bit, you know who you are, right? And for those who aren't, you're probably not watching this anyway. So you should be doing something, right? But he's chosen to do something. And for all the other people in Ireland who maybe have a similar platform, probably smaller than his, but still have a platform that is recognisable. They have a brand, if you want to call it a brand, but they have a presence in whatever field they're in. Whether it's actors, whether it is journalists, or whether it's sports personalities, or whatever the case is. Not one of them, bar probably Van Morrison during the COVID stuff, right? But not one of them people, your Roy Keanes, Katie Taylors, none of these people have come out and said anything about what's going on. And correct me if I'm wrong and I missed it. Hopefully I missed it. But I'm not seeing anything from anybody who has any sort of platform or reach or influence come out and say anything about what's going on in this country, right? Because we're on a certain trajectory, and if that doesn't shift, we are for a horrendous future, right? And I leave it at that, right? But watch the interview, and hopefully it'll be good and impactful, and show it to people, right? Because there's no point in judging someone on what you heard on RTE, who are funded by the government, who are being called out by Conor McGregor. But yet you expect what RTE has to say about Conor McGregor to be 24 carat, right, and pure. Of course it's not going to be. You get to assess and feel a person in long conversation, right? And if Tucker Carlson has a long conversation with Conor McGregor, I think that'll be revealing. Whatever way your sentiment or feeling towards him ends up landing following the conversation, at least you'll get to understand where he's coming from. And I think it'd be worth watching just for that alone, and shown to people as well, right? And if people aren't willing to sit down and listen to a man talk for an hour or two or three about how he's seeing his country and his concerns for his country and the people in it, you kind of wave away your right to even have an opinion of it at that stage, right? Anything you would say to me after that, if you refuse to hear a man out, I don't want to hear about it, right? Because you're already entrenched in the view that you have, and you're not willing to entertain anything other than that. So your mind is gone, your word means nothing, and your opinion means even less, right? So give it a listen, share it around, and start a bit of a conversation, right? Start a bit of debate even. Great.